Hey, so if you're young and healthy, this does not pertain to you whatsoever because you've never dealt with losing your balance. But if you are a senior citizen or you're someone who has dealt with significant balance issues, that is a very scary predicament because just walking or bending over or moving, getting something off of the ground becomes a real chore to do because you have the risk of falling. And when you start to fall or have a fall, it starts to increase the scare, especially if you've ever broken a bone or you're taking care of your aging parents and they've been through that same thing. They suddenly start to become a hermit, right? One serious fall really starts to scare them. And sometimes it's hard to understand or to relate to from the outside. But let me put it to you this way. Imagine that every step that you're taking, you're walking on a balance beam, and the balance beam is about 5 feet off the ground. That's what it's like when you start to lose your balance, and that's how far the ground seems to feel as you get older and you start to lose your balance. Anyone who's ever been dizzy before, if you've been spinning around in circles, you kind of probably did that as a kid, and you know how it's like, whoa, you're just very disoriented. Now imagine trying to walk in a straight line when doing that, and you're kind of stumbling all over the place. That's one form of imbalance, and that's usually not what seniors are dealing with when they're dealing with their imbalance issues. A lot of it is because they really can't feel their ankles. So they can feel it if you touch them, but the ankles are not sending the proper stimulation back into the brain so that your body even knows where you are in space. So for us, if you stand up and close your eyes, you should be able to kind of hang out there and not really sway around with your eyes closed and your feet together. But the reason that you can do that is because you're getting plenty of stimulation from your ankles going up into your brain, and your brain says, hey, we know where we are. We're standing upright. Well, if you start to lose that information from your ankles going up into your brain, and then you can't see very well or at all because you have your eyes closed, now that's a second area of how your body kind of orients itself and creates balance is one through your ankles and feedback through your ankles and your body, your eyes giving you visual understanding of where you are, and then the third one is your vestibular system. It's a big word for the inside of your ear that kind of tells you like a gyro where you are. Am I falling forward? Am I falling back? And that's how you can kind of tell if you're in a car and you're accelerating. You don't have to see it. Your body doesn't have to move, but you can feel that you're moving. And that's on the inside of your inner ear, and that's going directly into your brain. So all three of those components are important. If you start to lose eyesight or visual acuity, now you have decreased vision. You start to lose your ankle information that's going up and sending signals to your brain. That's second. And then a lot of times there is lack of good signaling for how your brain is coordinating itself on the inner ear. You have different ways that balance can start to break down. What's really cool is all three of those areas of balance problems can be improved under neurologically based chiropractic care. And we see it a lot. People will come in and the biggest issue is, especially if they have balance issues, they're afraid of falling, and for good reason. Most of our elderly patients have had serious falls in the past, and so they're just like, I'm not gonna put myself at risk. So they kind of clam up. They don't do a whole lot. They stay inside, and that's, as a family member, it becomes very difficult to, you're like, mom or dad, you got a grandma or grandpa, you got to get out more, and they just shut down. Nope, and they shut down because it's a fear thing, right? They're afraid of falling because like I said, they're walking on a balance beam, kind of blindfolded. It's terrifying. But what's really cool is when we start getting them adjusted. What that does is that increases the ability for the brain to get information from your ankles, right? And so the more coordinated you are, you go, oh, we're falling forward. Ankles are falling forward. Send a signal to the brain. Brain says, oh, tighten up the muscles, fall back a little bit. But if that gets off, now you're falling way far forward before you even notice that happens, and now you're relying on other senses, like maybe your inner ear, to pick that up. And we don't want to do that. We want to be able to have all different parts of our brain working the way that we need to. So if we can get that proper stimulation coming from your ankles uninterrupted into the brain, now we get good understanding of balance, and we get good information coming from those ankles. The other is for the semicircular canals, which is part of the vestibular system inside of your inner ear that helps you with balance. And when you start to clean up the signals that are coming from the upper part of your neck, and sometimes in the lower part of your neck, all those signals are coming in, and without getting too complicated, it kind of all integrates in to the part of the brainstem where the signals coming for balance from your inner ear are all going. When those signals get cleaned up, then you get a better understanding of where your balance is from your inner ear. And that's huge. Now you're more sensitive, like, oh, starting to fall forward, oh, starting to fall back, and your body can respond appropriately. But if you don't know that you're falling back, and it takes you, a significantly delayed response before your body kicks in, now your muscles are delayed, and now that's where you start to trip, and you trip over the little things that shouldn't really be a problem. And then vision. Vision is another one. If you start to break down your visual acuity and the speed at which your eyes move, there's a lot of different factors here. I'm not saying you come and you get adjusted and blindness goes away or anything like that. But what can happen, and what often does happen, is it starts to it's not the eyeball itself that's the problem. It's how the information that is coming in through the eyeball is being perceived in your brain. So if it's all cloudy and murky back there, then you're not going to get a good understanding of the world around you, even if your eyes are still pretty decent. So a lot of times people will actually notice their vision starts to improve when they get adjusted, or their night vision improves when they start getting adjusted. And it's not that we magically replace their eyeballs with anything. It's that their body was trying to heal, and it's just not getting the proper information. And now it's starting to get clear information because you're getting good signaling back in your brain. And we do this all through making sure that the brain and the body are connected up. It's a really cool thing, and it's remarkable what happens when you are able to reconnect your brain and your body, so that now amazing things like fall risk, which is the number one cause of death in the elderly, can now become something that you don't have to worry about. We have patients who are coming in, and they're coming in, and we're like, "Whoa, where's your cane, or where's your walker?" And they're not having to use it anymore. And that's just a really, really neat experience, not only for us to see in our office, but for them, because they're going home and they're having a higher level of confidence to be able to do the things. They can get to gardening and not have to worry about whether someone's home or not in case they fall over. And those are just amazing quality of life things that everyone is entitled to and everyone should have access to and be able to experience. So I wanted to share that information with you, because chiropractic care can make a massive impact on your ability to create balance, whether you're aging yourself and you're experiencing these issues, or maybe you've had head traumas and you're dealing with these issues, or you have aging parents and they're dealing with these issues. You need to get them to a neurologically based chiropractor who can start to get them reconnected and letting their body express health. And don't expect this to get better right away. It takes time. Just like everything, all natural healing takes time and repetition. This is no different here, but the results are worth it, and they're worth hanging in there for. So if you have any questions, again, you can always put any questions in the comments section below, or you can reach out if you're in the area, schedule a consultation with us here at Ignite Chiropractic, and we'd be happy to go over more information with you, figure out where your breakdown is, and then put you on a path so we can get you feeling awesome again. So this is Dr. Lee Horan with Ignite Chiropractic, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon.